Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and just a little bit of story time today. So, I used to work at this movie theater. It was fairly popular in Lindenhurst, New York, back when I was a teenager, and the movie theater has since been taken down. It's no longer a movie theater. I forget what's there. I think it's a CVS now. They completely demolished it. It's in the movie The Unbelievable Truth by Hal Hartley. So if you haven't seen that film, it was a pretty good kind of romantic comedy. But he's from Lindenhurst, I think, originally, so some of his movies are from there. And that movie theater is in the film. I have a couple pictures of it that I've gotten on the internet over the years, but back then, smartphones weren't around. So if you had a flip phone with a camera, you kind of had money. So I didn't take any pictures of the movie theater. That being said, down the block from the movie theater was this little mom and pop rental shop called M&M Video. Not like the rapper, but more like the candy. And I can't remember her name, but I believe my memory is pretty bad. The manager of the movie theater I worked at down the block had sent me to get her pizza or something next to the M&M Video store. So when I went by, I noticed the video store. A couple weeks later or whatever, my great aunt came in. It's my grandmother's sister. They both since passed. Rest in peace. They were wonderful people. They both came in to visit and spend the night. And for some reason, I guess I bugged my mother enough to take us to M&M Video because I saw that they were selling video games. So we get in there, and I'm going to guess 17 years old. I could have been 18, but I think I was more like 16 or 17. And I go in there, and I'm just astonished. They're selling Sega CD games, and I still had holes in my collection where I didn't have the complete set at this point. So I just pulled out one. They had Vey. And this is a fairly generic, but good RPG. I've never beaten it. That my friend Nikki and I used to talk about constantly because we liked the Lunar series so much. Well, he did. I got into it later. But he liked the Lunar series so much, and he was like, I really want to get Vey. Some people call it Vi. But he said, I really want to get Vey. And I just happened to come across this. I think it was like Spider-Man and a few others that I was missing. And then there was some that were so cheap. I think they were $5 to $10 each. There were some that were so cheap that I flipped a couple to buy more Sega CD games I was missing. And that's sort of how I almost completed my collection on the Sega CD at M&M Video. The other funny thing was I worked with a girl named Nikki at the movie theater, and her twin sister, Natalie, worked at M&M Video. I'm going to send her this. Worked at M&M Video, so when I left the one place, the movie theater, to go over to M&M Video that night, I ran into the sister. I didn't know them very, very well, but we were friendly and went to high school together. So just to show a little bit, it has a sticker on the manual, which kind of stinks, but whatever. This is what you got. It was a product of its time. This one had the full manual, pretty rough shape, kind of beat up, and then the little foam pad. The disc is in good shape. There's a couple minor scratches on it, and then there's a couple stickers on it, and there is the M&M Video logo with the Vey CD. Let me take the manual out for a moment and see if there's anything inside. I know sometimes certain stores used to put stickers inside the manual. Yep, there's a little M&M Video stamp there. And yeah, the manual's pretty shot. You can see on the inside it's all like worn and kind of beat up, but again, for $5 or $10 at that time, it was good. My great aunt purchased me, I think, one of the games as a gift because she came in to visit, so I'll always remember that, which was very kind of her. And yeah, there's my little nostalgia story about Sega CD. I just want to shift gears for a moment before I stop the video. The other story I have about M&M Video, and I think I might have told this one in a previous video. My buddy Steve had a Dreamcast, and I didn't get one till much later after the system was already, dead or out of print or whatever you want to call it. So initially when I got the Sega CD games, I lived in Lindenhurst, but not close to M&M Video. I was on the other side, all the way on the other side of town. But then later on I moved pretty close to the store. For some reason I must have went in there, and I don't know why, because we didn't rent movies or games from this store. We used to go to Hollywood Video, so I'm not sure why we went in. But we went in, and they had a Dreamcast for sale. So for some reason, I was home that day from, I guess, work, And this was, I must have been about 19 at the time. And I walked to M&M Video in the snow. It had stopped snowing, but it was still snow out. Purchased a used Dreamcast that they used to rent out to people for, I think it was $40. And I think it came with a game and the controllers. And I was so excited to get this thing home because I loved the Dreamcast. I proceeded to buy massive amount of Dreamcast games. I eventually sold everything off, regretted it, and bought most of it back, or more of it back, but I was very selective on what I purchased at that point. I used to just buy every Dreamcast game. But anyway, got the Dreamcast. It had like a little M&M Video sticker, I think, underneath it. I feel like I got Shenmue from there, but I'm not sure. I played through Shenmue and I had the best time with this thing. That was like warping you back in time to a whole different country. It was a wonderful, wonderful game. It's one of my favorites still. And those are my two little stories about M&M Video. Getting these Sega CD games with my family members at the time, and walking in the snow on my day off to purchase a used Dreamcast, and then back in the snow with this box. So excited to make it back home, 15, 20 minutes later, however long the walk was in the snow. So I do miss stores like that. I wish there was more mom and pop shops. I wish rental stores still existed. I know with streaming, it doesn't really make much sense, even though I buy a lot of physical media, as you can see in the background. So shout out to M&M Video in Lindenhurst. I do miss you, even though I did not go there for my rentals. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.